Hello and welcome to a little project actually that I've been working on over the last week. I thought you guys might be interested. So this one is, it's quite a simple project. There's quite a bit of software side because more software based. And there's a little bit of hardware. Hence you can see. It's called the RetroSwitch, and you can see me there in the background. Don't worry about that. I'm also re-recording the audio because even though I did fix that left ear problem, I was very low in my voice, and it just got a bit weird and stuff. So sorry about that. This is a voiceover, so there's no sound again, but I assure you all the audio on the games work flawlessly. So this is a retro switch. Basically, it's my idea on the Nintendo Switch. It's all getting up and going and being portable, but I've made it all retro-y. So using Emulation Station and a few sort of different emulators, basically, I was able to get this Ipega, which is a 10-inch controller, to fit to 12 inches because I'm using a Surface 3 for this, actually. You need quite a powerful machine for this, but basically I extended it off a little bit to fit around the Surface 3, learned a few things, so I kind of wrote the controller, but it still works very well. And it can play pretty much everything up to the Wii very, very well. In a moment, I'll show you the Mac and what I have here for the control setup as well. So I also did a little addition because the Surface 3 on the older models, this one's apparently a new one, but it still gets a bit hot. So I'm just showing here that it is 10 inch cut off there. So I extended it off a little bit by filing pretty much the little joint. So here there was like a little joint, and I had to file off to stretch off, make it really good. I also used a battery to power the fan, and that's basically connected up with a switch so that there's a little bit of coolant air going through it there. And that just keeps it cool. It helps a little bit. I got cold air blowing onto it. I didn't do it going away. I thought, it'd be better for it to be cold or something. And I got like a little grill coming as well to protect the fingers away from that. But I'll turn that off for now. I tried to make you see if you could see there's a little bit off, but it didn't work at all. Because focus on cameras never do work automatically. I had to be careful with this. So I was a little bit impatient when I did this to make it fit. That I fired it a little bit too much, and there's a spring in the middle sort of mechanism. And basically, I'm showing you there's a spring there. And basically, I stretched it and killed the spring. I just, the spring just went dead. But there's a ribbon cable going all the way in the middle as well, and that's not affected. That seems to be alright. But the spring basically went crap, so one side doesn't fully fit in, but the other side does almost, because I had to do like a little workaround. I also enlarged the top bit a little bit there because I was impatient and I just wanted to see if I could bypass the little hook things that they have. But yeah, that is why the spring went, because I pulled it out too much basically. But the ribbon cable seems to be fine and everything works well. Hooks up with Bluetooth, everything's a go-go. So we'll turn it on now. Basically getting ready for showing you one of my favorite games, which of course is Super Mario Galaxy. So now we'll show you Super Mario Galaxy. And the first one is not as user-friendly for this sort of thing as the second one. I was trying to show you that it's going at 60 FPS, but again, the autofocus just doesn't work. So it's all good. I've got a button configured pretty much for the game. The only thing that's a little bit annoying, and you'll see it here, is the infrared interface. It's on the Ipega. You can't I tried my best, but it's a little bit whooshy sensitive. So you have to be a bit gentle with it. I guess I could use the D-pad for that instance instead. See if that goes a bit better instead of an analog stick. It'll probably be a bit easier on my fingers as well, so then I can actually select. I don't know why I'm not doing that now. I'll change that, and I'll let you know how it goes. But I'm just showing you here, Super Mario Galaxy, quite a demanding game. working really, really well. I have another media center that's a bit more, a little bit more powerful than this, and around this area, it always drops in frame rate for like a split second to 50 FPS, and then it shoots back up, which it did on here as well for a second. But apart from that, 60 FPS all the way through, pretty solid. The fan's going at the top just to help it cool off a little bit, and everything's good really. That is Super Mario Galaxy in a nutshell. I also have on the controller a few setups. You can see me here just getting out of the emulator completely because I have a program called Joy2Tech, and basically that just lets me switch a few profiles or do a few key presses. So a few sort of key presses I have lets me Alt 4 or Alt Tab, because sometimes when I Alt 4 I don't go back to Emulation Station. But also I can change profile to use a mouse using the sort of analog stick. I have a few Steam games installed as well. I haven't actually tried them because this is literally a direct copy in sort of ROM wise or program wise that I have in I know on my media center. So we're playing Zelda now. Basically, I haven't actually tried the Nintendo 3DS too much. And even though its development build is running okay, it's not perfect. I wouldn't say it's crazily playable. But I mean, it's okay. You can't hear the audio. The audio is quite a bit choppy, basically. I see it's about like 70%-ish, sort of there. So you can see from the intro, I mean, hopefully it wouldn't go on for too long. I'll fade out if it does. Yeah, there's my face. God, look at that man. So yeah, basically, the beginning of it goes well, which is fine. It's pretty much solid. But then when it gets to like Ganondorf coming in, it gets a little bit choppy, and I cut it there basically. I really don't look too happy, do I? Thank God. I'm trying to like not make it see me too much, or not me see too. I don't know. I don't know. But basically, you get my point. Okay. I mean, it looks good. You know, I mean, you couldn't really tell, but the audio is a little bit choppy. It's not running too fluently at the moment. So hopefully later in development builds, they'll bump that up, and it'll be awesome, and everyone will be really, really happy. The other good thing as well is it is a touchscreen, so you can use all the touchscreen features well. Like that game there, I can just cross it off. I did think of trying the touchscreen interface for like Super Mario Galaxy or any Wii game where it has the infrared stuff, but man, it just goes crazy. It goes like everywhere. So I was a bit like, well, okay, let's not do that. Pretty much, that doesn't seem too good. The most demanding game that I have on there really at the moment, which kind of goes okay, was Shadow of the Colossus on the PS2 there. It doesn't run perfectly like it does on my other system, but you know, it's okay. That's just a bit of fun really for me. There's quite a few games here that I have. I'm just showing you here as well, Super Mario Sunshine, because with the GameCube install, I had the BIOS on there. So I always find it really, really cool when you start something, you get the GameCube logo, and I'm like, oh yeah. It just makes me happy, really. But as you can see here for a moment, this works pretty much perfectly fine as well. And the audio is perfectly good as well. I'm really sorry, I shouldn't really make you sit there in silence, but one, you know, copyright and everything, but just to let you know, audio is all a good, it's all a go-go, pretty much. So as you can see here as well, I just Alt-4'd out of that, and then it didn't go back to the emulation station, so I did my Alt-Tab maneuver. So yeah, just to let you know, that works fine. So here I've just quitted out of Emulation Station. and I'm just showing you the setup that I have where when I have my Plex server and stuff, that I have the Joy to switch profile so I can use basically mouse features and such. And obviously there's a touch keyboard as well because it's touchscreen. I mean, I can just use touchscreen the whole time, but you know, fingerprints is crazy. You don't want a lot of fingerprints. So just to reiterate here, like if you do this, because you know you can break it, just to file it a little bit, you really don't want to go too far. Also in a few weeks I will be sort of upgrading that battery system to like sort of rechargeable battery and fan sort of USB sort of method. Still having a switch though in place. The only reason why I didn't go USB fully and keeping it rechargeable is, one, it takes the power away from the actual tablet itself just to charge a fan. I know it's not a lot, but it's something. And secondly, where the controller goes over, it actually goes over a USB port where I ideally like it. And then so you either have to move the controller up or down, well, mainly up, to give that USB port, and then you actually have to plug it in and it takes up a bit of space or something, and it just gets a bit fiddly. I thought I'd rather have something just controller bound, hooked in, and would pretty much work, than try and have like extra connectors and something relying on the tablet or whatnot. Just in case you use this device basically on another tablet, it would essentially work. So that's why also it looks a little bit messy, and it's mainly hot glued. When you do it as well, I did it in the sense that you have 5 screws, which I just pointed to, so that they still have access to this, and that the back and the front plate like sort of unpeel. The back plate doesn't because of the lock, but the front plate just sort of pops off. So when you glue on the fan or the cables or something, make sure that it's on the back plate basically, so that if you ever need to access the middle again or something, then it can just still unfold. With the USB position as well, if I move the controller up, basically I'd also be moving the fan up, and the heat area is over in the area I've just shown, and so that's where I kind of want to blow the coolant on. I'm blowing it into the area, not away, because I know, I mean, I can swap it around if people think it's better. I just feel like, obviously because there's cold air blowing into it and then it disperses, it has a little bit of air as well being on the back plate to let it sort of let the air go somewhere basically. But apart from that, if there's any questions anyone has, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer or figure out questions that people have. If they want a tutorial software side, I can certainly help. I'm just showing that I can start up Emulation Station again here, perfectly fine. It's quite easy having a touchscreen. But yeah, if software side for this and which ones I use, because for the MAME stuff, I actually had to get an older version of RetroArch for it to work, but everything else works fine. So I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, I can certainly help with that. It's not too difficult. It's just a little bit of fiddling really, and just go through sort of one system at a time. Don't try and do a load of them all at once, because it's not going to work. I'm just showing Super Mario Galaxy 2 here as well. That's more like sort of disk controller friendly. And for the hardware side, I mean, I can show sort of the upgraded system and everything when I get the rechargeable batteries and stuff. For the internal stuff, I mean, I could probably unscrew it and show you what I did. Or if I ever get a sort of enough money again, or someone donates or something, then it would be good to then do a sort of tutorial on that basically, and we can all go through it together. I'm just showing up the world here, and I showed a little bit before that the touchscreen doesn't work, and using it was terrible idea. But thank you anyway. So I will leave you with this while I slowly fade out, and hope you all have a great day.